All right, so we're gonna go over to squat. We're gonna go over some cues for you or someone else to coach you with. So what I want is either you to videotape reps, or I want you to have a coach on the outside watching for these specific things. Very important that it's not just done, but it's done correctly. So we're gonna start with our feet. And I actually like to go barefoot on these sometimes as well, because your feet are so instrumental to sport in general. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna get your big toe, your little toe, and your heel all plugged in. So a big misconception is just staying back on your heels the whole time. We want the full foot grounded. In addition to that, we want to try and almost grip the ground and rotate our feet out to turn on our hips as much as possible. So you want to do those two things, and to be honest with you, doing some air squats with those just to get that understanding is going to be great. But again, feet and rotating out with those feet are the first thing. Second thing that we can coach ourselves on, and again, partner can be watching those feet, you can watch those feet on that video, is to make sure that our bar path is correct. So that this is going to be relative to who you are as far as where your torso length is and your leg length is. Also your bar position, depending upon low or high bar position. But what you want to do is you want to line up the bar on your midfoot. So your butt going back is going to draw that bar right over your midfoot. So I have a low bar position with a pretty equal torso split. So I'm going to have a moderate butt back that's going to put it right over my laces. So, or I should say the mid of my foot, the start of my laces. So you should see that bar in that path, and now it should stay in that path. So butt back to do that, and then I'm going to start to descend. As I do that, make sure you keep your feet, as I spoke about. Partners can watch those heels. They can also watch your knees at this point. So if you're getting too much knee forward, we want to try and eliminate that. You can have a little bit of a shin angle, but as soon as it starts to get over your toes, then you have too much of that. So we want to sit back, again, not on our heels, but we want to sit back to get that bar in the line of those mid feet throughout the entire range of motion. So here I am, that bar is staying in that line. Ideally, I want to get the parallel. You can see my knee is just slightly behind my toe, my foot is fully gripped, and right now my hips and my knees are in a parallel position. Again, some guys might not be able to, or ladies might not be able to get into that full range of motion. If you see too much of a butt wink or that lower back start to curve, then you might have gone too far. Or your technique might not be where it needs to be, where your knees got to roll forward a little bit more. There's a bunch of things that we might not be able to discover on our own. So that's where you need to reach out and contact me so I can help you with that technique and be a little bit more critical on the fine-tuned points of it. But again, let me just review. Feet, knees, making sure that we are in as much of a parallel position as possible, and then that same position needs to track on the same way up. Breath is going to be very important, eyes are going to be very important. So if those eyes are forward, my chest has a better chance of standing up. Holding my air and releasing it about the halfway point on up is going to also make me successful as far as being able to engage my core and my trunk and keep that chest up. Again, if you have any challenges beyond what you can critique yourself, make sure you reach out to me.